The Taliban are an Islamic fundamentalist group that enforce a strict version of Sharia law. Coming to power in the 1980s, they were rebel fighters against Soviet rule in Afghanistan. They have been known to aid terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and are notorious for their cruel mistreatment of women. This is a flag of Afghanistan where the Taliban, or freedom fighters, originated in 1979. The Taliban became known as a rebel group fighting against Soviet rule in Afghanistan and originally funded by the United States and the United Kingdom. In 1988, their fighting caused Soviet troops to withdraw from Afghanistan. Impressed by their fighting skill and determination, the Pakistani government hired them to protect a military convoy in 1994. Realizing their own fighting strength and led by Mullah Muhammad Omar, the Taliban forcefully took control of the Afghani capital city, Kabul. There, they execute the former president, hanging his body from a street lamp for all the citizens of the city to see. This flag, the flag now used for the Taliban, was hoisted in the middle of the city following the fall of Kabul. The white writing on the flag says, "I bear witness that there is no other God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger." Over the course of the next year, the Taliban took over and flew that flag from 12 of the 34 different Afghani provinces. Now in power, the Taliban start to enforce a strict form of Sharia law over the people of Kabul and the other provinces. Sharia law is the Muslim moral code taken from their holy book, the Quran. Parts of the Quran give a list of punishments for everything from crime to adultery. Many of the punishments told about in the Quran are very violent and not used today by most Muslims. The Taliban, however, use an inaccurate form of this code that benefits them and will punish anyone who violates their laws in a brutal way. The people that suffer the most from Sharia law are women, who have their rights taken away every day. Before the Taliban declared themselves the official government of Afghanistan, women had many rights. Girls could go to school and get an education, and could go to work and earn an income. Some women even became some of Afghanistan's best doctors. Afghanistan was considered a place for women to succeed. With the Taliban in control, women were expelled from school and denied work, and women with jobs were forced to be fired. Women are forced to stay in their homes with their windows painted black, unless escorted by a close male relative, in which case she must wear a burqa. A burqa is a long black cloak that the Taliban force the women to wear. It covers every part of their body and has a veil in front of the eyes so that only they can see out. Examples of the strict rule enforced on women by the Taliban in Afghanistan include a woman who ran a secret school for girls and was shot and killed in front of her family. During Taliban rule, women could be stoned to death just for being with another man, which the Taliban considered adultery. Every day during the Taliban rule, women died of curable diseases just because the male doctors were forbidden to treat them. The same year that the Taliban took over Kabul, they agreed to give refuge to Osama bin Laden, the leader and founder of the notorious terrorist group Al-Qaeda. He was wanted by the U.S. for multiple terrorist attacks carried out on America and others. In 1998, Al-Qaeda bombed 3 U.S. embassies in Africa. The U.S. demanded the Taliban to hand over bin Laden, but they refused. This worsened the already bad relationship between the U.S. and the Taliban. Then, on September 11, 2001, Al-Qaeda committed one of their most destructive terrorist acts on the U.S. This was the bombing of the World Trade Center in New York. Following the attack, the U.S. demanded for the last time for the Taliban to deny protection to Al-Qaeda and to hand over bin Laden. The Taliban refused. The U.S. then started Operation Ensuring Freedom, the declaration of war against the Taliban government of Afghanistan. Both Osama bin Laden and the Taliban called for a jihad, or holy war, against America. After fighting for 3 months, the Taliban surrendered Kabul, along with all the other provinces they had taken over, and were successfully removed from power. Without protection, bin Laden and the other Al-Qaeda members retreated to the mountains and hid in caves. Their fall from power does not mean that they are completely destroyed, however. The Taliban fighters scattered, gathering in different cities and enforcing their laws. Along with being stationed in Afghanistan, U.S. troops are arming and training Afghani soldiers and police to protect the citizens against the Taliban. In 2012, the U.S. decided to slowly withdraw troops from Afghanistan, resulting in a complete withdrawal by early 2015. Many are against the U.S. troops leaving Afghanistan, and most of these are women. Since the Taliban's fall from power, women have gained all their rights back. They are getting new, prestigious jobs and are able to go to school and no longer required to wear the burqa. Afghani women believe that if the U.S. withdraws from Afghanistan, Taliban will return to power and their rights will be again taken away. The women of Afghanistan have suffered for years under the rule of the Taliban, having their freedom continually taken away from them. Countries all over the world are helping these women get back their rights and fighting to make this Islamic extremist group, Taliban,